naturally your body is always seeking a state of homeostasis, right? So it's always trying to find that even keel and feel the best that it possibly can. But over time, if you just start to accept, this hurts and this hurts, and allow these things to just slowly accumulate, then your body starts to think that this is the new norm, and it starts to accept these things as close to homeostasis as it will get. And that's when you see that deterioration. Now, on top of that, you have unforeseen events, unforeseen circumstances, disease, just any event that could be detrimental to your health, car accident, anything. Now, with that being said, any of these things could happen. So for me, doing everything that I can control, that is within my power to have that vitality and function and operate at that extremely high level, even doing all that, something could still blindside me and be a setback. But if I'm not doing any of it all, then I am exponentially increasing my chances that that deterioration is going to take place sooner than later. Now, you know that alone for me is the bigger picture. That's the why. And when I think of kind of the old adage that the body is a temple, and and treat it well and don't put anything bad in it, I think that's kind of crap, because I mean, let's be honest. One, that's not realistic. Um, you know, Two, sometimes it's fun to put things that some people deem bad into your body, but it's in moderation, right? And then you get back on track. I think it's more the better comparison is that your body is a vehicle, right? It's the one vehicle that you have to go through life. Now, I see people on social media all the time posting vehicles, cars, trucks that they buy, showing those things off. Hey, look at the new lift kit that I got on my truck. Look at the paint job that I got on my car. You know, Stuff like that. Look at the new off-road tires. Uh, but yet people are shamed for posting, pictures of their progression of this vehicle that they've worked their asses off to achieve. And, somebody takes like a shirtless pic, or they want to show their progress, and people are shamed for that. Yet, just posting things that we can buy materialistically is a norm, and that's fine, and people value that. Now, I see some things wrong there, and maybe a while back I kind of thought the same way in some regards, to where you look at like maybe a bodybuilding community or something like that, and you're like, oh man, what are these orange people doing? And this guy's always posting the shirtless selfies and this and that. You know what? I, I know a lot of people who are part of those communities, and one similarity that I've found amongst people who are in some kind of fitness community is that there was just, for a long time in their lives, just this desperate longing to seek out other people who are highly motivated. They're just sick of being surrounded by um, and motivated not being the proper word, as I mentioned earlier. So that's kind of we're more so disciplined, right? So just highly disciplined people with that larger sense of why, right? So they're tired of being surrounded by just mediocrity and people who just kind of don't give a crap. So they're just seeking a community of support, is what it really is, and they work their ass off. And that family of support is encouraging, and that positive energy is something that they have been desperately seeking. So good on you. If you're working your ass off, don't let anyone shame you. The hell with that. What are they doing? You know, you're absolutely jacked and worked your ass off for years and years and years to do that. That guy bought a new car. Great. Okay. At the end of that road, when they have to get out of that car, this is your vehicle. This is what you have. Put a lift kit on this. Put some off-road tires on you. Jack that thing up. Put a turbo on your body. You know, do you want to just putz around in a piece of crap station wagon for life? Or do you want something that's high octane? Something with some horsepower? Something that can go off-road and kick some ass? You know? Honestly, quality of life is affected by that. Some of the things that I like to go do, I would not be able to do and enjoy as effectively without maintaining a high level of physical conditioning. It would affect quality of life, and it will affect quality of life. That's the why. But I'll tell you this, if your why is simply rooted in aesthetics or vanity, just wanting to look a certain way, that won't last. It won't last. It might last for a short period of time, long enough to, hey, I just want to look good for this beach vacation. It might, but long term, it will not last. So that for me, almost that initially what was a driving fear of going through that progression of slow deterioration is now, it's not so much a fear, but it is a driving force to do the opposite, to thrive, to just crush it, and to be the best version of me that I could be, to put that lift kit on this vehicle, to jack that bad boy up, get off road, kick some ass. You have to find that why, and then from that, you maintain that ongoing discipline. Now, along with that, I believe that you have to take ownership. You have to take ownership of your situation and where you're at. And, obviously there are external factors that can be thrown your way, and that's going to happen no matter what. But you have to adjust. You have to acclimate, and you have to move forward. And so if you don't have any ownership of your situation, if you're always looking to blame external factors or other people or make excuses, no one gives a shit, honestly. Excuses sound best to those who make them, and you can come up with all the excuses as to why you don't want to do something. That just means that your why isn't strong enough. It just means that you don't actually want to do it bad enough to where you're just making these excuses. And people from all walks of life, I know people that have 3-4 kids that are just crushing it, getting after it, working 2 jobs. They're still going and getting after it. Some people are like, well, I work like physical, tough labor. So did I for years. And myself and sometimes the guys I work with, we'd work a 12-hour shift and still go get a workout in. It's just, is your why strong enough to maintain that discipline? If it's not, and then I think, from a self-discovery standpoint, you need to sit down and think about your why and what that is and what you're really seeking. Because if you're not really establishing that discipline now, these behaviors now to accommodate that why, to get you to where you want to be, your chances of establishing and maintaining those later in life are significantly decreasing. I'm 34 years old, and I've been, for the most part, maintaining a pretty high level of that discipline for a good while. And it took me a while to put into perspective exactly what that why was and why I was doing some of the things that I'm doing. But if you're not putting these things into practice now, when are you going to do it? If you just want to go through that course of deterioration, that's on you. That's on you. If you think that's the norm, whether you believe that's the norm or you believe that, you could still get significantly better for years and years and years, I think you'll be right either way. Whichever one of those you believe, you will be right either way because you will put that into motion. And you need to take ownership of that. So, Yeah, I think it's we think of motivation, and I think it's more discipline rooted in a deeper why, and having that ownership of that, and having just some kind of strong conviction that is that deeper why, something that's strong enough to make you actually want to make a drastic change. And yeah, I hope you do.